This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myrick.
I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widow bride. Something touched me deep inside the day the music died. All together now. So bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. What? This'll be the day that I die. Now did you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me?
New rule in pro wrestling: if you win a championship, you got to sing in the ring post-match. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons.
I don't think I like that rule at all.
I love that rule.
I don't think so, man.
No, come on.
Not everybody can sing, Stu.
Well, Tyson Fury actually has a really
That's a
nice voice.
There's only one Tyson Fury, which is proved evident. I mean,
there's only one Tyson
Fury. He'd be a great pro wrestler, honestly.
True. Well,
like if he actually trained and stuff, I mean,
he's
charismatic-wise.
Pretty decent singer, as we just heard.
I would say so.
Audio courtesy of Fox Sports. Tyson Fury. I know this is wrestling, but we got to talk a little boxing because Tyson Fury, TKO in the 7th round because Deontay Wilder's corner threw in the towel as he was getting pummeled.
Well, he was getting pummeled. What else did you want?
And so now Tyson Fury, still the lineal heavyweight champion in boxing, and now is the WBC World Heavyweight Champion.
I know, in the fight that everybody wants to see, we're not going to get.
You're talking about Wilder Joshua?
Yep.
I think everybody just wants to see the belts unified.
That too, but I mean, like, that would have helped.
That would have helped. We're obviously going to get Wilder Fury 3 because Deontay Wilder has invoked that 30-day rematch clause.
I know, but that's going to...
that's going to take a while.
No, but I mean, there's everything else. I mean, there's mandatories that have to be upheld.
True.
So there's chances that other fights have to take place, or belts will have to be vacated in order to make other fights, and
then it's back to a mess.
Exactly.
And Lennox Lewis will still be the last undisputed heavyweight champion in boxing.
Can't believe that still.
What'd you think of the fight? I said that we did a watch party here. Chad Hastings was here from the afternoon show, and it was evident that the blow to the ear was pretty much the beginning of the end. Now, it did come out. He did not bust the eardrum. It was just a cut, but that rung his bell. That really rung his bell. I mean, and Wilder never, I don't think he ever recovered. I would have liked to see what happened in the 7th round, but again, Fury caught him in the corner, started get him with the punches.
He didn't have a chance after that, and he has the one punch eraser. So I guess you would want to see it extend, but I mean, there was no way. He just didn't look like he had it.
He made the excuse about apparently the gear that he wore to the ring, which, by the way, ring entrances. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, those are WrestleMania level ring entrances.
Yeah. I mean,
there's your tie-in there.
King Corbin, eat your heart out. Tyson Fury did the whole, rolling throne thing correctly, including much better looking, what do you call them? Carriers, whatever, I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, so
carriers.
Yeah.
Throne carriers.
It was the gear that Deontay Wilder had with the mask and the glowing eyes and everything, apparently it weighed like 40 pounds.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it lit up and everything.
And he alleges that wore his legs out.
It could have.
Which I say, well, then why did you do that? I mean, it had been reported early in the week he was having some sort of a leg problem. which
do it
made
for
me
clout.
worry. Okay, but again,
He was doing it all for clout.
But if you're gonna, you would think they have tried. He at least tried this out before Saturday night.
Maybe not. It's not like they rehearse WWE style entrances where they go and like the camera has to be at this place and this time. No, they just go.
But still, you would think they would have had something. He would have had some idea of what this felt like, because he was right that his legs were never the same.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens next time, because there's a next time coming up.
Anyway, congratulations, Tyson Fury.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
By the way,
him.
sure enough, soon afterwards, Braun Strowman. Hey, how about a shot? I think he wanted to put up the Intercontinental title against the WBC belt.
That'd be interesting. Compromise.
That would be interesting. This isn't like Mayweather McGregor though. So, I mean, it's good pub.
Yeah,
it's good pub, and we'll talk about the possibilities of Tyson Fury showing up at WrestleMania in the podcast only segment. So if you're listening to us on the Horn, make sure you get the podcast either off of hornfm.com or from your favorite podcast provider. So this weekend this week I should say, we've got 2 pay-per-views. One of them is happening in the continental United States. It's on Saturday. AEW presenting Revolution. This Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. You can get it on pay-per-view and Bleacher Report Live, BR Live. If you're outside the United States, Fight TV. They will be coming from the Wintrust Arena in downtown Chicago. As AEW has been saying, this is their first time inside downtown Chicago since they've came into existence, because, of course, before then they were doing the Sears Center Arena, technically in Schaumburg, right outside of Chicago.
I was going to say suburban Chicago.
It's suburban Chicago, yes. The home of the Windy City Bulls of the G League. So, now, as usual, we are recording this on a Tuesday. So right now we know 6 matches. We suspect that by the time this airs, we will have a few more, including whether there will be a buy-in pre-show and whether there will be matches added to that.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But, admittedly, I hate to say it like this, but it's true. I feel the same way about any real pre-match stuff. It's like, I'm okay, whatever. But we know this is like the main card right here, and this is like the meat of the product.
We think this is.
For the most part. And I mean, who's to say that they're not going to just throw in like some random 45-minute match somewhere in between all this?
Right.
So
and I will tell you, AEW does a hell of a lot better, job with their pre-show than WWE does. 9 times out of 10, WWE almost tells you this doesn't count.
That's true.
So they've announced the 2 they announced most recently, Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin. Darby Allin is still recovering from the shot to the throat with his skateboard by Sammy Guevara. So Darby Allin showed up on Dynamite last week using the cue cards that Sammy usually uses to basically challenge him. I get a feeling that Darby Allin goes over on this just because Sammy seems to be and we love Sammy, but Sammy seems to be kind of the sacrificial lamb for the inner circle.
No.
You think Sammy, you don't see it? You think Sammy goes over?
Yeah.
All right. I think it'll be a hell of a match either way.
I mean, it's going to be fun, but
if Sammy goes over, it continues the rivalry.
So
that makes sense.
It might not even be clean.
Oh, if Sammy goes over, it won't be clean. So there's that match. The match that I have pitched to both Jake Hager and Dustin Rhodes, although I said it needed to be a Red River rivalry match, but I don't think there will be any football connotations in this one. But yes,
no, I think there will be plenty of football.
Well, they won't be wearing gear like what we've suggested.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought you were just trying to brand it as that match.
I told them that it needed to be a Red River rivalry match, that Jake needed to be dressed in Sooner gear, Dustin need to be wearing burnt orange.
Oh, but you're telling me that you want like full football regalia, like helmet and pads and stuff. Man, you're taking it to a completely different level. Then
the what I think of is back in Mid-South, it was Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan did a football match. Dr. Death in OU gear, Jim Duggan in SMU gear because he went to SMU. So that's what I'm thinking. In fact, I would love for it to be at the Cotton Bowl, but that'll never happen.
You never know that. I mean, they can run the Cotton Bowl one day.
They could. It'd be fun. Anyway, Dustin Rhodes, the Natural, taking on Jake Hager. Jake Hager's first in-ring action.
Whoa.
AEW.
Why don't you just call him what Dustin's been calling him?
Well, because we are on radio, and I try not to use that kind of language.
Well, I'm not saying that you're using that language. You're just repeating what somebody's already said.
Yeah, but again, we're on the radio.
That's his.
I don't want.
But he has a hashtag.
Yeah, I know. It's Jericho's, and then it rhymes with which. But again, I don't want the FCC coming after us. I like our time slot. Let's put it that way. I want to keep our time slot. So Dustin Rhodes, Jake Hager. You know I'll never pick against Dustin.
So
again,
it's like you want me to pick against Dustin.
Then again, this is Jake Hager's first. This is his first official match in AEW.
Yeah, and he has a whole squad behind him. I don't see him like losing.
Well,
se.
somebody from Inner Circle's got to lose. You can't do the clean sweep.
Who says you can't?
I did. I don't know.
I was going to say, why not?
If they were going to win a match, I say this one outside of the championship possibly.
Yeah, because I was going to say, what happens if Jericho loses?
Something tells me Hager goes over, but I'm still going to pick Dustin.
Okay, well, I'm still going to pick Hager.
Okay, you pick Hager.
That
way, at least he's happy with one of us. So, but that should be a fantastic match. Two guys with a lot of experience.
Oh, well, this is your Haas match.
Yeah, this is the Haas match. Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
After meeting both the guys in person, it's all like, oh, yeah, these guys are like legit 6'6".
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wow, okay.
Absolutely. For the AEW Women's World Championship, Nyla Rose defending against Chris Statlander. Now, this was a match that was supposed to happen, I want to say it was it was either at the November pay-per-view or it was at a Dynamite a couple months ago, and Statlander had some sort of there's something happening where Statlander couldn't be at that Dynamite, and that's so. But apparently now Chris Statlander, I think she's still the number one contender if you look at the official AEW rankings. Chris Statlander gets a shot at the women's title. I think Chris Statlander's a fantastic talent. They're not going to take the title off Nyla Rose this soon after she just won it from Riho.
That's what my thinking is, basically. It's just all like, but why give her this match and then have her lose it?
I don't know. This is one of those puzzling ones where the timing is weird.
It's like, why give her
maybe a little off.
I'm just like, well, you know she's going to lose.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I mean, are you thinking that she's so popular that she can bounce back and it's not going to affect her?
Statlander?
Yeah.
She's very popular. I think she could. I mean, there's a way they can book the match where Chris Statlander still looks great, and this could feed into a new rivalry between her and Nyla.
Maybe, I guess, but I mean, like, how long does she have to carry a rival? I don't know. It just doesn't seem.
Well, you got to figure next pay-per-view will be in May with Double or Nothing. So at least through then. Again, I mean, Riho had been champion for 3 months.
Yeah, but how many defenses did she make? Like
not that many, but that's partly because they had to fly her in from Japan.
Yeah.
So Nyla Rose lives in D.C., so
yeah,
it's a little bit easier.
Well, but you're also running into the issue now, and you see like one of the weaknesses is the lack of talent for their female roster, because it's like, who are they?
Yeah.
Who is she? Who else is she going to run through?
Well, and that's been one of the big criticisms with AEW so far has been the lack of depth on the women's side.
But that's what the
because you've got Nyla, you got Chris, you got Britt Baker, you've got the Joshi wrestlers.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is that.
But the Joshi wrestlers, again,
yeah,
you got to bring them over from Japan.
It becomes a logistics thing.
It
and
does.
then there are other dates.
That's why we haven't seen the Strong Hearts very often.
Yeah, because their other dates conflict.
Exactly.
And we have to take those bookings first. I mean, I understand it was supposed to be like one of the. I mean, is it okay at this point to say like this was supposed to be one of their top selling points, and it just kind of
was. No, it was. You're right. Absolutely right.
And it just didn't hit. And I mean, that happens, you know.
And I think they're starting to turn it around, but it's going to take a while because, again, like you said, they're going to have to build up some depth.
I mean,
whether it's through new talent or if it's, find some way of a little more stable connection with the Joshi wrestlers or something. But they've got to build up that women's roster because right now that's been one of the very glaring weaknesses of AEW.
I mean, Nyla Rose is a good start just because she seems to be a heavy fan favorite. Like, I know a lot of people that just got back into wrestling because of AEW.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, Nyla Rose is my favorite wrestler. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Another thing to consider is you figure probably by the time Double or Nothing rolls around, Awesome Kong will be back in the mix. Right now she's off.
Yeah.
To the, quote, attack by Mel and Luther. But really she's off because they're filming the final season of Glow on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So when she comes back, there's a built-in rivalry right there.
Yeah, and that should carry for a little while. It just kind of depends, like, where's Chris Stratlander?
I think Chris will be in there as well. There is some other talents. Allie the bunny was supposed to be an in-ring talent. Right now, she's only doing the bringing out Butcher the Blade.
I didn't know that.
But I mean, Allie, former Impact Knockouts champion.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
So I would suspect they're going to have her wrestle
at some point.
You would think.
Well, I guess it just depends if she wants to wrestle or not, right?
I would think she does. That's why you join a company like AEW.
Yeah, or just to get at least see on bigger product. Maybe
and she
take
would,
the bumps.
She had wrestled a few matches prior to this whole Butcher Blade Bunny thing.
Gotcha.
So we'll see. Cody Rhodes got his win against Wardlow. Did you flip off the top of the cage?
I saw that. People were watching it at the bar. I was like,
that was amazing flip. He actually said in an interview he had his eyes closed because he's so scared of heights. Because when they had to lower the cage, so he had them build it really tall.
Yeah.
So it's taller than usual cages. So anyway, he gets the win. He meets all the stipulations. So he and MJF
the whole time I'm just thinking, I was like, I would hate to have to try to catch him without hurting myself. And it's like, and all you could really do is like stick your arm out and hope to break the person's fall.
That's true.
But I was like, my gosh, was that necessary? I was like, please don't do that. But it's cool to see, but at the same token, I'm just like, oh man, why?
Yeah.
But
he did end up with like I think it was either a broken toe.
Oh no!
He did end up with it was like the small toe, I think.
Well, no doubt. I mean, there's just so much impact. I mean, people will have to remember there's not a whole lot of padding.
No,
there's like a little bit, but then it's basically just all board. Right. It's like you're just like on a limited spring and a board. Yeah, not a lot of give.
Not a lot of give at all. Anyway, so Cody MJF. Oh, let me guess, you're picking your boy Maxwell.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the type of match that just seems like perfectly lined up for him to win.
My head says they want to extend this feud a little longer. My heart says no. Cody's going to kick his ass.
Nah, I mean, you can't build stars without them losing.
True.
I mean, you can't make stars with them losing. And let's just admit, he's like the biggest heel they have.
True.
So he has to win. In fact, but
if you look at traditional wrestling booking. Eventually, yes, he does have to lose. Yeah, because the good guy gets the win at the end.
But Revolution isn't like WrestleMania for them.
No.
So
no,
it probably
that
has
would
to
probably
wait.
be out. That'd probably be all out in Chicago.
Yeah.
So we'll see. For the AEW World Tag Team titles, Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega defending against the Young Bucks. By the way, did you see the Young Bucks have a book coming out?
Yes, I did see that.
I've
also seen the toys.
Autobiography called Killing the Business. And they sent out a press release yesterday as I page through my stuff. Here we go. Young Bucks, Killing the Business from Backyards to the Big Leagues. It is now available for pre-order on Amazon and at bookstores nationwide. It should come out in the fall. Again, it's just an autobiography about Matt and Nick Jackson, how they started, how they worked their way up, and how they are now executive vice presidents and among the greatest tag teams going around today. So
yeah, I mean, when you think about it, they're one of the best to ever do it.
do they cap it off by winning the titles?
It's tough to say because it doesn't.
This one is tough.
Well, the thing is, it's just they never seem to want to put themselves in a position where they have to take the titles. It just doesn't seem to make any sense. Although they're very popular, they don't even need They don't need the titles. That's just it. They're already over. They don't need them. So it would be kind of useless for them to win it here. But then again, I can see where it's like, okay, well, you want to have them carry it for a little while. But Hangman Page is so over. I mean, how do you split him and Kenny up?
And that's the thing.
Is this the time already? Because it's like, are you trying to, like, how, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I really don't know how everything's supposed to look like it's going to play out. Because it's like, well, if Jonathan Moxley is going to win this title, then, like, why would you have Page?
Yeah,
unless there's going to be another belt somewhere in between all this.
I tend to lean towards Page and Omega keeping the belts. But
I'm going to say Young Bucks.
You're going to say Young Bucks? Okay.
Yeah, just to promote the book.
I think they could. I think it could. Something it's just, something inside me. And then main event, Chris Jericho, Le Champion, defending the world title against Jon Moxley. I think this will be an all-out brawl. I think Jon Moxley will beat him with everything that isn't nailed down. And at the end, Jericho keeps the title.
I mean, that would make the most sense, but why not give it to Moxley now then? Has it not been long enough? I mean, he's super over.
But again, it's kind of like what you said about the Young Bucks. He doesn't need the title to be over.
I think it's different with him because unlike the Young Bucks who had like great, successful, memorable runs with their titles, his wasn't like that in WWE.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the worst.
You're right.
It was bland. I had more questions than answers.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily because of him. I mean, that was just how it was booked. It was kind of he just had to go out there and perform. Mm-hmm. But now, since he's a completely different character.
It's not Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, it's like, well, you have to give him the title. And you have to let him kind of go to work.
I've been going back and forth about that, and I there were times I thought, yeah, they're going to give the title to Moxley. Right now, as we're sitting, I say no. I think somebody else is going to take the title off Jericho, but it's not Moxley. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I guess it really depends on who's going to be their first original star. Is that going to be the person?
Maybe. Anyway, that is AEW Revolution this Saturday. From the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Get it on pay-per-view and BR Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central on Saturday. When we come back from this timeout, WWE, it's the road to WrestleMania, but there's this big speed bump called Saudi Arabia. We'll talk about that next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn.
This is Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and you're listening to Sports Guys talking wrestling. One sweet me. Break it down.
Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. So before we get to AEW Revolution on Saturday, we have another WWE show in Saudi Arabia that seems to get in the way of everything.
Aren't you excited? I'm excited.
No.
How can you not be?
Because it's Saudi Arabia. Super Showdown is on Thursday. It will come to you from the Mohammed Abdu Arena on the Boulevard in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And it will start at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on the WWE Network.
Ryan, smack dab in the middle of your day, so if you've got
That's
nothing
right.
else to do, you can watch it during lunch.
What a way to spend a long lunch. So here's the card. They have created another trophy.
All right, what's this one called?
The Tuwaiq, I hope I'm saying that right, Tuwaiq Mountain Trophy.
I'll go with that.
I don't even know where Tuwaiq Mountain is, other than I assume it's in Saudi Arabia. But they've
Probably.
made a trophy to make it to look like this mountain.
Okay.
They're going to award it via a gauntlet match. The participants: AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, R-Truth, Andrade, who apparently will be coming back from his quote injury, wellness policy violation, Eric Rowan, and Rusev. Oh wait, not Rusev, Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah.
So apparently Rusev was originally scheduled to be in this match.
Okay.
He has been yanked. The story, as the rumor innuendo goes, it's either one or both. He doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia because let's not forget what happened last time they were in Saudi Arabia.
Uh-huh.
They got stuck there for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Didn't make it. That's when we had one of the best SmackDowns, in a while. Or Rusev is still in contract negotiations, and they're afraid he's going to be, flying the coop, and so they decided to pull him from the card. My guess might be a little bit of both. Anyway.
Oh, I thought they were just trying to sell the storyline with the fact that, Lana and Rusev can't be on the same plane together.
Actually, she hasn't. Actually, Rusev hasn't even been on Raw in the last few weeks.
Well, yeah, because of the restraining order and stuff, right?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Anyway, my guess is AJ Styles because they can both, he can have a trophy. Anderson and Gallows can have a trophy. Plus, if you believe the rumor that Undertaker's coming.
Keep him strong for Undertaker?
Yeah, because that'll be the WrestleMania match. So I'm going to say AJ Styles.
I would say it's either Styles or Rey Mysterio, honestly, just because he's probably the most popular wrestler.
Could be.
Out of the group.
Could be.
I would think that he would be the most well-known in that region that probably just watches it casually.
Right. By the way, as I mentioned, we do have odds, and AJ Styles is the leader right now at 4-9.
Really?
So you can get 4-9 odds on AJ.
So if I put down $2, how much is that?
I think you have to put down 9 to win 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
If I remember correctly. So
see, if I grew up as a Brit, I would know how to gamble because it's like they gamble on everything.
I don't.
No, they
gamble,
really
so.
do. They
I
have
know.
I know. It's just part of the culture.
I don't have to worry about Britt. We can just talk to Brad Kellner or his cousin. In a cage match, this is supposed to be the blow off to the feud. God, I hope it is.
Nah.
Roman Reigns, King Corbin. No, they said this is the last one.
You're like, no, you said your face. You're like, oh no, for real. They really did say this.
No, they said this. They said this. I'm going with Roman because again, it's the blow off feud. So you got to get the baby face over.
I didn't think he was going to lose in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
just because
he's not going to lose. By the way, Roman Reigns at a minus 500, King Corbin at a plus 300. For those of you on the money line. Seth Rollins and Murphy defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against the Street Profits.
Nothing's going to change.
Yeah, it's not going to change. Yeah.
I was surprised that was the main event.
Rollins Murphy at a minus
night.
400, Street Profits at a plus 250 there.
I mean, I'm glad that they're wrestling now.
Yeah. The New Day, Big E and Kofi defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles against The Miz and John Morrison. Could we see the title change?
Yeah.
This seems to be the likely title change.
Yeah, because I think
You just brought them back together. Go ahead.
Exactly. That's basically what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. You just brought them back together.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, it gives longevity.
And by the way, these odds are courtesy of Bet Online. So
It does give longevity to the tag team division. So now you have a new team to chase. You can continue the feud with the New Day going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You can do all sorts of things. It can be a quick swap. It doesn't matter. But you should strike while there's still people watching. And Miz just had the new show.
that's right.
So,
You got to pump up the new season of Ms. and Mrs.
basically.
And yeah, they're the favorite right now at minus 200 or 1-2 odds, whereas New Day is a plus 150 or 3-2. So yeah, I'm going to lean Miz and Morrison. Bayley versus Naomi for the Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's title. This is going to be odd because they can't do any of the shenanigans. It'll just be them shaking hands, wrestle, and when they're done, shake hands again. Because we can't, it's in Saudi Arabia, just like what they had with Lacey Evans and Natalya.
So they're going to wrestle in T-shirts.
They're wrestling T-shirts, no shenanigans, no character. It's just two women wrestling.
So no run-ins? No, because I could see Bayley losing.
Really?
I mean, if Sasha Banks came out and costed the match,
no,
and then that way that sets up Sasha and Bayley for the 1000th time.
You forget this is in Saudi Arabia. We can't have that.
Well, we're not supposed to have women wrestling anyways in Saudi Arabia, apparently. But
they're not. Yeah, but
it's
baby steps.
I know, that's why. So now
steps.
we have a run-in.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a run-in.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be running with Sasha Banks wearing her regular stuff, but and she won't run. She'll walk in. But you get the idea, and she might.
I know you're trying to, and I appreciate the effort of trying to make this match a little more interesting because we all know Bayley's going over on this one.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate to say it. It's a Saudi Arabia show. It's a Saudi Arabia show. All right, so here we go to the two main events. I'm gonna start with this one first because this one's the least likely to have anything happening. Brock Lesnar defending the WWE title against Ricochet.
Well, since Ricochet's had those really strong promos of late, he's probably going to win the title.
Brock Lesnar, money line, minus 2,000. Ricochet at a plus 700. So it's a 1-20 odds, Brock. Ricochet at 7-1 odds.
Wow, 7-1? Jeez.
So, hey, why not?
Oh, yeah, we all know that Brock's going to win.
Now, here's the interesting one. So, Fiend Bray Wyatt defends the Universal title against Goldberg. By the way, I am so glad. I was so glad to see Goldberg spear the Fiend out of his boots Friday night on SmackDown.
Why?
That was so good.
Okay,
because I'm a Goldberg fan.
Okay, so let me understand this. So you have a problem when Brock does it and he holds the title, but when Goldberg does it and holds the title, it's all good.
Yeah, because it's me. I can do that.
Okay.
Now
Just
here's the
pointing
thing.
Stuff out.
Now here's the so right now the odds right now, and this is kind of close. Bray Wyatt at minus 300, so 1-3 odds. Goldberg is getting plus 200 or 2-1 odds.
Well, where are the odds for the Fiend?
Well, that's okay. Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Yeah. Now here I have heard several theories that say this and we'll have to, and again, we'll get into this in the podcast only segment, but because of certain things that are changing or uncertain, especially on the SmackDown side for WrestleMania, there is talk that they may pull the trigger and give Goldberg the title.
No, don't do that.
I'm going to credit Brian Alvarez from Figure 4 Online with this, but he laid out the scenario.
No, why would you do that?
We'll get into it. There's kind of a long thing. It involves John Cena. It involves Goldberg, Roman Reigns. There's something to the possibility that if they can find a way to make this deal happen, that WrestleMania would actually be on ESPN Plus and not the WWE Network.
I'm okay with that, I guess. I don't know.
That means you got to pay ESPN Plus, and you got to pay them pay-per-view prices.
What? You
yeah.
didn't have to pay pay-per-view price to get the fight. All you had to do was
I paid $79.99 for Fury Wilder.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, ESPN Plus does pay-per-views.
Wow.
All those UFC pay-per-views at like $50-$60. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's what they will probably do with WWE pay-per-views if they get them.
Wow.
We go back to paying $50 for WWE pay-per-view.
Well, I mean, you write that off for work though, right?
Sure. Like I said, I don't think they're going to do it. I think Bray keeps the title.
I mean, I think that can happen though, because the network is just a network. It doesn't have to show live content.
It's not the craziest thing to happen.
I mean,
It's not the craziest, not the craziest impossibility.
This is just
and
Chad's
it is Bray
worst
Wyatt.
dream.
And it is Bray Wyatt. So
No, they're not going to take the title of Bray Wyatt. But the whole ESPN thing, that's like Chad's worst nightmare come true.
I know.
It's like it was already bad enough that they were promoting SmackDown during football games, and you hear all elite stuff during like NBA basketball. But now,
oh yeah,
you would hear that during ESPN all the time.
Wow.
Could be. It already makes the front page of their website.
That's true. So anyway, so that is the card for WWE Super Showdown Thursday. So if you're listening to us on the horn, tomorrow, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Make sure you tune in. You know we will. As we mentioned, we are going to go through some rumors and innuendos on a podcast-only segment. Talk about a couple other things that are happening in WWE and elsewhere. Coming up next, you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, and you're listening to The Horn, where Austin talks wrestling.
This is Marco Stunt, and you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Sports Guys Talking Wrestling podcast only segment. Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons. By the way, AEW released many of the entrance themes on Apple Music or iTunes, whatever you want to call it now. So
yeah,
I was able to get some. I was make a few more rejoins, including one with our good friend Marco Stunt. I got one. I've made one for Dustin now with his new music, which is kind of cool. So let's talk a couple other things. A few other things from WWE came out today, as in Tuesday. Samoa Joe has not had a good start of 2020.
No.
For that matter, he didn't have the best 2019 either, because he spent a lot of it injured. He's out because of an injury, allegedly a concussion that he suffered while filming a commercial.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, then came the news from WWE.com. Samoa Joe has been suspended 30 days for his first wellness policy violation.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Now, there is talk that this may not have anything to do with PEDs or drugs or something. This may be he missed a doctor's visit or something.
Which is possible.
So, but anyway, so Samoa Joe's out for 30 days. It was effective on Monday.
I mean, does he miss WrestleMania?
No.
Okay, well then
No,
no big deal.
He does not miss WrestleMania.
No big deal then. No big deal.
Does.
Nobody wants to miss that paycheck.
He does miss Elimination Chamber. But that's because Elimination Chamber is the following Sunday.
What? Okay, wait. What? So there's a pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia.
There's the Thursday pay-per-view Saudi Arabia.
And then
you got SmackDown Friday.
Yeah.
You got Raw Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You got another SmackDown on Friday.
Yeah.
And then you got Elimination Chamber.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the WWE schedule for you. But yes, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah. And by the way, they're in Saudi Arabia on Thursday, which, so who knows if they make it to SmackDown.
Who's to say that they get back in time?
We might have NXT on SmackDown again.
I mean, they should just have NXT on SmackDown and have that call take over and just do it just to give the main cast a break. That way they don't have to rush back.
Yeah.
It just seems like that would make the most sense. You would get the most out of your talent save you a week of having to push a storyline. I mean, it would be a great break for everybody involved. I don't see why they just don't do it.
Right now they have. I'll look.
And then you get like a throwaway NXT show. It's perfect.
But so right now, as it stands, they have. I want to say it's maybe two matches set for Elimination Chamber. I know they've got the women's match with, the winner gets Becky Lynch at Mania. Let me see. Yeah, I know of the one match. Like I said, the women's match with, the three members of the Riot Squad who are no longer the Riot Squad. You got Natalya, Asuka, and Shayna Baszler. So most everybody thinks Shayna Baszler goes over so she can challenge Becky at WrestleMania. That's it. That's all we have for Elimination Chamber, which is in a week and a half.
I'm okay with that, though.
And you've got 3 shows to build that pay-per-view.
Yeah, you could make each elimination.
2 SmackDowns and a Raw.
That's more than enough. It really
Yeah.
is. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of TV time. That's like 5 hours easy. That's 3 hours of Raw and 4 hours that's 9 hours of programming.
Well, it's just
8.
they don't,
Sorry.
but usually they usually have much more to build it. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's Elimination Chamber. It kind of does.
yeah, that's true.
It's like it kind of sells itself. It's
and that's the thing. You don't really have stakes for a men's match because both the men's titles are pretty much set. Well, I take that back. The WWE title match is set because it's going to be Drew McIntyre against either Brock Lesnar or Ricochet. We know it's going to be Lesnar. But the Universal one, we don't know who's going to come out of Saudi Arabia as a Universal Champion.
Why do you keep on trying to push this rumor? We all know it's going to be The Fiend.
Well, I mean,
And if it's not The Fiend, it's going to be Daniel Bryan.
But yeah, so again, and remember, this is all rumor, innuendo. This is all speculation. A lot of this is coming from Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer.
What?
But he's saying that in a nutshell, 5 or 6 matches that WWE was thinking about doing at WrestleMania have changed. Most are probably all of those matches on the SmackDown side where everything's up in the air. Quote, everything's up in the air. And it deals with Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, John Cena, and Elias. Remember, there was talk it was going to be John Cena and Elias in a match.
Oh, yeah.
Now, remember, John Cena's coming back to SmackDown on Friday.
Yes. And I'm excited. Aren't
Yes.
you excited? I mean, I
am excited.
I hope he gets a good ovation. He should.
He should. It can't be Elias because Elias has been a babyface here lately. So they're not going to put him up against Cena.
I just wouldn't want to see that.
Not to mention it's why.
Yeah, it's like, that's like...
And again, that's what's feeding this whole, could they pull the trigger, put the title on Goldberg, and then have Goldberg defend it against either Reigns or Cena?
Well, look, let's just be real. No, I don't like to take anything away from anybody's career because, obviously to get to that point, you do a lot of work. It's just that the Elias character hasn't really done it for me. I'm like,
Right.
he's a talented dude. Obviously has a good look.
Absolutely.
But I'm just all like, I don't feel that that's a match that is befitting of somebody like John Cena.
Right.
And
If you're bringing back John Cena, you're bringing him back for something big.
Exactly. And since we do these things on Tuesday, happy birthday, Nature Boy. Woo.
That's right.
But
71.
yeah.
He's still alive, still kicking.
But Cena deserves to break the reign number, and it would be fitting for him to do it at this WrestleMania.
That's
so
possible. In Tampa.
I think I just don't think Goldberg would be the person that would be like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lose to John Cena just to let this happen. I think they would just destroy the Fiend character instead and feed him to Cena. It would be appropriate in so many ways.
And I agree. I'm just wondering. It's one of those. It's a weird thing because and this is where I was when they first put the title on the Fiend, when he beat Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
At the last Saudi Arabia show. This is what I was saying about, okay, who takes the title off of him? Because whoever takes the title off of him, it's gonna destroy the mystique.
Well, yeah.
Doesn't matter whether it's Goldberg, Cena, Reigns, Elias, the Smash. Once it's done, it's done.
True.
He's like you have said many times. He's Bray Wyatt in a mask.
Basically.
So that was my problem with putting the top title on him.
Like, the thing was for me, and still is this now, it's just that the vignettes don't necessarily translate to the ring. Like, the vignettes are great. He's a super talented guy. It's just that I'm like, okay.
But in the ring, he's still Bray Wyatt in a mask.
Yeah, basically.
And that stupid red light. I hate that red light.
Oh, the red lights is annoying. It's better than the cockroaches, though. And the bugs.
Cockroach, yes. I was there live. I was in Orlando for that WrestleMania.
Oh, that's right.
So we had to see it on the big screen there at Camping World Stadium.
Oh, you guys wouldn't see it in the ring? They didn't project it into the ring?
You couldn't. From where I was sitting, you couldn't see.
Oh, okay.
Because I was on the field level.
Gotcha.
So I couldn't see on the
maggots
ring.
and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Maggots. I mean, I could barely see the ramp as it was. So, be that as it may, there's a lot of moving parts right now. There's a lot of uncertainty on the SmackDown side. There's even a little bit of the rumor is that Undertaker is heading to Saudi Arabia, so he's probably going to make an appearance. It's likely, related to AJ Styles because that's apparently the penciled in match at WrestleMania.
But is that what you want? I mean, if you could put him against anybody on the current roster from NXT to Raw or SmackDown. Wow, that took me a lot of chances to get right. But
anybody in WWE. In other words.
Like if you could take Keith Lee and put him against The Undertaker, would you rather see that than against AJ Styles? Because let's admit, AJ Styles is going to make The Undertaker look great.
Yes, that's part of the reason why they're doing it.
He's the closest that they have to Shawn Michaels.
And let's not forget, usually Undertaker has a say. He's kind of the one that says, "I want to work."
Yeah,
blank.
But if you could pick.
I'll be honest.
Because I think everybody's opinion would be different.
I'll be honest. Damian Priest.
You would want him to work Damian Priest?
Yeah.
Kind of like the future against...
We said that when he was still Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I know. He has that
had the look.
He has that same thing going.
Yeah.
Build, look, athleticism. That would be a fun matchup. I think Keith Lee would be fun just because he's so big.
Keith would be fun. It would be fun. I still lean Damian. The funny thing is, there was probably nobody else on Raw or SmackDown that I would put him with.
I don't know. I think Ricochet would make him look good. I think he would just. I think he would fly around and sell really well for him.
But that's why you got AJ Styles.
Yeah, but
and AJ's a big. I hate to say this. AJ's a bigger star.
Yeah, well, no, it's true. I mean, it's just one of those things.
We love Ricochet, but
yeah, I'm just like I wouldn't use. And
Kevin
he's
about
Owens.
To get destroyed by Lesnar.
I'm not going to use Sami Zayn. I wouldn't use Shinsuke.
No,
although Shinsuke just because
Shinsuke
tall,
would be intriguing.
Yeah, that would be an interesting match.
But
it's not like my. That wouldn't be like the one where I'm like, oh, I have to see this.
My guess is
McIntyre against Undertaker would be cool to see, just because it would be like that whole Damian Priest thing,
right?
Except advanced already because he's ready to go.
And McIntyre's already got a match.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with Shinsuke. If Tyson Fury doesn't make an appearance, it's likely. I would think it's probably going to be Shinsuke versus Strowman for the IC title. I think it still is, and maybe Tyson Fury just shows up just to maybe lend support to Strowman. He won his respect or whatever in Saudi.
I don't know. I would prefer that he lose it. But
you got arguably the top heavyweight in boxing right now. Giving Strowman a hand. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you that one. I don't know.
Speaking of NXT. Charlotte Flair is going to that's another match that's set for WrestleMania. Her and Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's title. Well, apparently she's going to show up in NXT to face Bianca Belair.
Oh, nice. That should be a good one.
That's this week. So,
man, yeah, that one should be good. I mean, those are probably two of the better athletes that they have.
Should be really good. does it concern you that NXT is already bringing in big guns like Charlotte Flair?
Nah, it's just all crossover.
If it's just her just to build up the feud, fine.
I mean, I think it makes perfect sense.
The only thing I would say would be, yes, this gives Charlotte Flair something to do for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
However, let's be honest. If you look at every promotion, every division, whatever, NXT's women's division is easily the best women's division on the planet right now.
I mean, it's pretty stacked.
It's really stacked.
But I wouldn't
fantastic.
say I wouldn't say it's the best women's division though.
Who's the best?
Raw's still the best.
Wrong.
No.
Wrong.
No.
Wrong.
No way, dude.
Wrong.
You have Charlotte and Becky on the same roster. You are being like just facetious about this because you're just trying to sound cool. That is not the case.
No, I'm not talking about the top.
Go watch the stuff.
I get it. I get that. At the top, yes. But if you go, it's like saying, comparing conferences.
No, not even then, dude.
Because you got to go through the whole roster.
Yeah, even then you have Asuka, who is an ex-champion.
Okay,
right?
All right.
You have her tag team partner, who's an ex-NXT champion.
Is she?
Yeah, the Pirate. Remember before she changed the gimmick? Yeah,
She won
something.
She won the Mae Young Classic. She was the initial Mae Young Classic.
All right. Well, okay. So she still holds.
All right. So
accolades.
you got Charlotte, Becky, Asuka, Kyrie.
Yeah, all on SmackDown. All on Raw alone.
Raw. You got Natalya.
Yeah. She's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday.
Liv Morgan. Sarah Logan. Ruby Riott. Haven't seen enough of them.
Well, but Ruby Riott was on her way up before she had the injury.
You've got, who else am I thinking of? I guess Baszler now. I guess Baszler's now Raw. Outside of that, who? So then NXT, you got Rhea Ripley. You've got Bianca Belair. You've got Candice LeRae. You got Io Shirai. Who am I thinking? Dadgummit, I'm drawing a blank.
Even if you name anybody else, you compare their accolades to the accolades on the main roster on Raw, or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's not a main roster, but you get the idea.
Right.
It is still far superior to what they have on NXT.
I wouldn't say far superior.
Oh no, it's far superior.
No.
Yes,
no,
it is. I mean, I'm telling you, I already said. I'm not taking anything away from the athleticism or the storytelling.
But you have to take that into account too.
That's cute. It's athleticism. I'm not watching a real sport. I'm watching professional wrestling.
Okay. So forget all that. You're just looking at straight who's won title.
I don't need to see like 5 dives in a row. I need to see a good story and who's actually come away with like star power and things like that. And that's Charlotte. That's Becky.
They are the stars, yes.
That's Asuka.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you count Asuka in that right now.
You have to look.
She's stuck in this tag team thing.
It's the same deal, though.
Kyrie.
You have to look at the body of work. Do you not remember the streak?
That was in NXT, by the way.
Yeah, that's okay. She's on the main roster.
Yeah, but her reputation is because of NXT.
No, but she also won the
that's
she won the women's championship too. It's part of it.
That's part of why you say NXT women's division is the top right now.
No, you can never say that like that.
No, I can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
No, you're saying like
it's my mic. I can say whatever I want.
You can, but you're saying that the women roster on NXT is better than like the Raw roster, and it's like no, impossible.
Okay, maybe that's not. Then it's not necessarily the roster, but I think the women's division, as far as everything, not just championships, but because by that, that's kind of the same thing as, well, Dan Marino should never been Pro Football Hall of Fame because he never won a Super Bowl, which is ludicrous.
Well, then
Dan Marino's still one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to play in the NFL.
Yeah, and Asuka's probably one of the best female wrestlers ever to wrestle in WWE. Same thing with Charlotte. Same thing with Becky. They all had to go through NXT.
I would say Charlotte and Becky got their vibe after they left. I mean, they did fantastic in NXT.
They both. Well, I mean, like Charlotte,
but their star grew even more.
But Charlotte was a multi-time NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but she has now been a 10-time Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah.
So,
which makes her better than everybody else.
Well, no, right now Becky and Bayley are better because they're the champs. But yeah, it's a fun thing to debate. I still say NXT's up there with them. So, congratulations to our buddy Shane Taylor, re-upping with Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor starting to try to, they seem to be catching on a little bit. Saw a little bit. Quinn McKay is going to call an episode of Ring of Honor. She'll be the first woman to do solo commentary on a North American televised wrestling product.
Good for her.
So way to go, Quinn.
As a broadcaster,
congratulations.
I am one to note that we do need more females in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, she rocks a bow tie pretty well. Speaking of tag teams and all that good stuff, Golden Ace, Kota Ibushi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, last Friday at New Japan Road in Korakuen Hall, defeated the Guerrillas of Destiny.
Yeah.
They are now your new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
I mean, I think it's
Way to
cool.
go.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to have Tanahashi able to hold some gold.
Yeah.
Especially here towards the twilight of his career. So I'm happy with it.
Someone pointed this out. Is it odd that both Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega are tag team champions in different organizations now?
A little bit.
That's it's weird, and at the same time seems just destiny. The Golden Lovers hold tag titles. They're tag champions. Just
now they're just Starcross.
Starcross. That's right. They're Starcross. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this build to WrestleMania once we get past the stupid Saudi Arabia show and then get through Elimination Chamber.
I don't know. What happens if Goldberg wins? Is it stupid then? Mr. Goldberg fan?
No, the Saudi Arabia shows are always stupid. That has nothing to do with who wins. I mean, yeah, I'm a Goldberg fan, so of course I'd love to see Goldberg win. But it doesn't change.
But he shouldn't win. That's just
at this point, I don't care.
All right, let's
we shouldn't have a show in Saudi Arabia.
Let's discuss something important. Who should be Cena's opponent
at Mania?
Yeah, because let's admit he deserves to be. He's going to be at some point. I think he's going to get to break Flair's record, but I think this has to be the time.
Something tells me he doesn't.
You've been saying this for like 3 years.
I don't know. Could it be? Let's see. Who does John Cena face? I mean, that's really hard because there's so many possibilities because we don't know. He's been off WWE television for what? Almost a year?
Something like that.
I mean, the last time we saw him was last year's WrestleMania when he came out, revived the Dr. Thugonomics.
Mm-hmm.
If I was booking and I was going to book John Cena in a match at WrestleMania, I mean, if you're gonna give him a title match, then you keep the title on Bray, I think. But I have seen an argument that says no, you do Goldberg because then you got the Ruthless Aggression versus the Monday Night Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, Goldberg was on WCW's side, so I don't really buy that much. I mean, it would seem logical for Cena to beat Bray.
Yeah.
But again, we've said
what about
whoever beats him, that's going to kill. It will eventually kill.
What about if it's Cena versus Adam Cole? And then he beats him for the NXT championship.
Hold it.
Does that still count?
Hold on. You just said John Cena versus For the NXT title?
Why not? Does it matter which championship he wins in order to break the record?
Well, yeah, because technically that's not a world title. Even WWE says that.
Wow.
It should be.
Yeah.
I think it should be.
At this point.
Because I think that's part of the reason, I would say a big part of the reason why Charlotte Flair has been on NXT is because they're trying to say, look, this is no longer developmental. This is this is now on the level with Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, because that's my impression of that title now. It's like, oh, you're telling me that since Charlotte's going after the NXT title for the women's division, that all NXT titles are world title status, or at least, yeah.
But you're not going to have John Cena take the NXT title from Adam Cole.
Why not?
Because John Cena's not a... Because are you saying he's going to be defending it?
No. He's just going to win it just to win it.
Well, he's got to drop it to somebody.
He might drop it on SmackDown to some random person. That way,
or he shows up Full Sail for NXT.
No, I don't think they would want to waste Cena like that. But I think somebody from NXT would show up on SmackDown just to kind of introduce himself to the rest of the SmackDown national audience and go, "Hey, we have this other show on the USA Network that you can watch also instead of watching AEW, which we think that you might be watching."
Johnny Gargano.
Gargano? You want to see Cena versus Gargano? Or you want to say Gargano would be the guy that would come up and fight Cena for the belt? Because it should be Ciampa.
I would say Ciampa doesn't want to leave NXT.
Oh, that's right.
They just turned Gargano heel.
Yeah.
So they've got to pull the trigger on Gargano Ciampa at least one more time before somebody gets hurt.
Before somebody can't do it anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Basically.
Finn Balor.
That'd be a fun one, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe
that'd be the one person from NXT that would make sense.
That's true. That's true. But like, at some point, somebody has to beat Cena, and like that would be a huge win for them.
No, actually, Cena's not going to take the NXT title from Adam Cole. No, that's not going to happen. And I don't think they're bringing back John Cena for that. If they're going to give him the title, they're going to give him either the world title or the universal title.
Well, the thing is like you're not going to bring back John Cena and not give him a title.
Since SmackDown, it's universal title. So that means either he beats Bray Wyatt or he beats Goldberg. Or Goldberg beats Bray Wyatt, Roman beats Goldberg, John Cena, Roman at WrestleMania.
Only for Roman to lose? No, they're not going to have him lose at WrestleMania again. It's not WrestleMania 32 or wherever the hell it is up here.
Roman won that one.
Did he win there?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That was Triple H.
Man, that show went so long, I don't really remember the end.
It's WrestleMania. Of course it goes long.
It wasn't the best WrestleMania I've seen. I think
it wasn't.
Oh, what did I get to see that I was like, that was amazing? Oh, well, AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho.
That was good.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Shane versus Undertaker, just because you got to see the wild bump.
Yeah, of course.
I'm trying to think of what else is on this card where I was like,
Ambrose Brock Lesnar was a total waste.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else is on. Oh, the Divas Championship. That was good.
Except that became the women's title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the same night that they switched it out.
But
I mean, the match was good. And
New Day, League of Nations.
It was fun to see the New Day live.
Yeah, and then you saw Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, Mick Foley come down and beat up the League of Nations.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of the whole, their connection to Dallas.
Basically. But I was all like, when you really think about it, it wasn't like the strongest WrestleMania that they've had.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Although last year's was pretty good.
Last year's it was pretty good because everybody got what everybody wanted. Seth Seth beat Brock. Kofi beat.
Well, I mean, I didn't want that. I don't
Daniel
know.
Bryan.
Aren't I part of everyone?
Becky beat Charlotte and Ronda Rousey,
which deserved to. Oh, and it headlined.
Yeah,
which it deserved to.
Yeah. So that was the. We're gonna give you everything you want.
What if Ronda Rousey comes back?
I'd be surprised.
Just to throw a wrench into all this.
I'd be really surprised.
Would you want to see it though? It's not like she was bad at it.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I don't think she's
Like,
coming
what happens
back.
if Cain Velasquez comes back? What about they bring in Daniel Cormier? What happens to Conor McGregor once in on this?
we got several weeks to do all this what if, and so
I mean, who else could they theoretically? What about Mr. T once in on this action?
Mr. T's. You realize Mr. T was at the first WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, and wouldn't this be a good time to bring him back? What WrestleMania number is this now?
This would be 36.
I think it's long overdue. It's been 35, and it's been 35 WrestleMania since his appearance at the first one. In between, him and Hogan. If you're going to bring back Hogan, you should bring back Mr. T.
To quote the current NWA television champion,
"You talk too much."
we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will let you know what's happening in independent wrestling around the area. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
This is Hangman Adam Page, and you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. I promise Hangman Page was not drunk when he recorded that for me.
Well, how do you know?
I didn't smell anything.
That doesn't mean that he wasn't drunk.
Could have been drinking vodka. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, some of our greatest pro athletes. That's how they've gone through their careers.
You heard, Hollywood Henderson.
Yeah.
Talk about all the drugs he used to take when he'd go out on the field for the Cowboys. So.
Lawrence Taylor. Half of the Oakland Raiders. Major League. Darryl Strawberry.
Did you see
Dwight Gooden?
They showed Mark Davis and John Gruden in the crowd at the Fury Wilder fight?
Oh, I mean,
the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, yeah, it's still going to take some time getting used to saying that. But, I mean, it's not that far from California.
There are some wrestling shows happening this weekend that we got to let you know about. We are going to start in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. DFW All Pro Wrestling presents DFW All Glow Friday night at the American Legion Post 655 in Haltom City. Bell time 7:30 p.m. This is an all-women's show with Erica Torres, Alejandra Lyon, Killa Kate, Vert Vixen, and more. That is DFW All Pro Wrestling Friday night in Haltom City. Heavy Metal Wrestling presents No Ring, No Rules Friday at the 502 Bar in San Antonio. Bell time 9 p.m. They're going to do 5 no-ring matches, including a no-ring death match between Ruben Steele and Casanova Valentine.
Okay.
That's going to be brutal. Plus, Danhausen, Dirty Andy Dalton, Great Scott, and more. That's Heavy Metal Wrestling, no-ring action Friday night in San Antonio. And then Metroplex Wrestling presents Leap of Faith Saturday at the MPX Arena in Bedford. Bell time 8 p.m. Gino Medina will be there. He's challenging Barrett Brown. Plus, you'll see Baby D, Chandler Hopkins, Wesley Crane, and more. That's Metroplex Wrestling Saturday night in Bedford, and that's a look at independent wrestling around the area. Make sure you go to a show near you. Make sure you support independent wrestling. I also saw it after I got everything set, but Reality Wrestling is also doing their latest Ladies Night Out event Saturday night at the Booker T's World Gym Arena. So make sure you catch that in Texas City.
Did you already say congrats to Booker T on his return to the ring, getting over like
That's right.
1 million views?
Yeah.
Jeez, crazy, isn't it?
Booker T reviving the G.I. Bro character.
I know, I wasn't even expecting that. That was crazy.
Teaming up with Fly Def, the Zach Zilla and Warren J. See them a lot in Inspire Pro, so it was good to see them. So yeah, Booker T looking every bit the Hall of Famer that he is.
And don't forget, since people are going to be listening to this on a Wednesday, today is the one, the only Nature Boy Ric Flair's birthday.
That's right. Yes. As we're recording this on Tuesday, it is the Nature Boy's 71st birthday.
What's your favorite Nature Boy memory?
Honestly,
try to pick one.
Honestly, getting pinned by Kerry Von Erich.
Really, that was it? The one at the one to win the
Texas
title?
Stadium.
Yeah.
Kerry won the NWA title at the first David Von Erich Memorial card.
Shoot, I think my favorite one is we figured it out last time. I think it was Chicago Rumble '89 when
would have been him and Steamboat.
Like he beats Steamboat and then he gets pile driven by
Yes.
Terry Funk afterward.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like my favorite. Like,
I got pile drive on the.
It's
table,
like one of my
announce
favorite
table.
matches, and it's like my favorite. Like, oh wow, you see everything of Flair in that one match. Plus, he also gives a great promo afterwards, and then gets beat up. Like, oh, it's just like all the feels. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So
Keep on jet flying, Nature Boy.
Happy birthday, Nature Boy! It was good to see him on Radio Row at Super Bowl, styling and profiling. So, what do you got going this weekend?
Softball, baseball,
Softball, baseball.
Yeah, that's part of the time of the season.
By the way, congratulations, Texas Longhorns, staying undefeated in baseball.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Way to go, Longhorns. Softball, they had one loss, but they still, managed to win the classic they were part of, so they're still in the mix. So
I've called a couple of those games. Their team is really good. Like
they look really good.
That Miranda Ellish, lady, she's going to be probably one of the best. She's the closest that they got to another Cat.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the circle, but as an all-around player.
But hey, if you
but Kat looked good on during the week because she was over at the Mary Nutter Classic and she was pitching in an exhibition. Yeah, and she was.
Is she going to the Olympics?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is her last one, I think, right?
Yeah, but you have to remember, Kat played in the 2004 and the 2008 Olympics.
I know.
It's been a decade since, so that tells you she still got it.
She still got it. She's going.
One thing I will say, because she used to be an assistant coach at St. Edward's, so I've actually played catch with her once, and it was like, dude, the one thing that people have to remember is that she's like legit tall. And she's like built, like strong. So it's like, man, when she fires that thing at you, though, she fires it. And I'm just like, whoa, okay, I see what it's all about now.
Yeah, she's a hell of an athlete. So.
Yeah.
This weekend's kind of a restful weekend. I was out at Saturday. Big involvement in Boy Scouts. It was an honor to MC our annual Eagle Scout recognition ceremony for the council. So congratulations to all of them. And then Sunday, out at Circuit of the Americas for the World Endurance Championship, the 6-hour Lone Star Le Mans. And congratulations to Rebellion Racing. Bruno Senna and his crew winning that race. It was good to see Bruno again, the nephew of the legendary Ayrton Senna.
I thought that the World Endurance was like a competition between sports people, seeing how many events they can cover without rest.
No, it's the 6-hour race. It leads up to the 24 Hours of Le Mans that will happen in June. That's the final race of the season. So they're getting ready for that. They've got 1,000 miles of Sebring coming up in March. I think they got a race after that, and then Le Mans in June. So good luck to Bruno and those guys there. That'll do it for this week, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin the Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We are proud to be the official broadcast partner of the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. Proud to be part of the great lineup you hear every day. On the flagship station for the Texas Longhorns, we are The Horn. Catch us Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central on The Horn, or catch us anytime on demand by going to hornfm.com, click on the On Air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast platform. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time tonight. We will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night.